serving up a warm dish of the Triads culinary fare, here's your weekly helping of food, news, and views. This is The Man Who Ate the Town.
Hey there, folks, and welcome to this week's episode of The Man Who Ate the Town. My name is Tim, and I am opening the recipe box. I'm sorry, this is a day late. I had a full schedule this week, and I haven't had a chance to cozy up to the microphone this week other than to do the Beer Dads. So, many apologies for that. It's really a slow week in food here in good old WSNC. Not that there's nothing going on. I mean, just the usual hustle and bustle. I do know that Mary's Gourmet Diner, which is located at 723 North Trade Street, is on their yearly sabbatical, and they'll be closed until next Tuesday. That will be the 9th? The 9th? They'll open on the 9th. I will say about their menu, though, they're not here. The chefs and I include Mary in that herself, have been coming up with spectacular daily specials over the last little bit, and I'd definitely check out their Instagram account because every day they post a picture of their special boards with a description for those like me who have very bad eyesight. And that's usually followed up by some gorgeous pictures of a special or two. It makes you crave it, absolutely. And they've been closed this week for 3 days now, and I am missing them. One thing that we used to do on Tart and Tangy Triad was food events and a history section. My beautiful wife, Stephanie, used to handle all that. I called her our food historian. I'd like to bring some of that back, and since this is the first week of August, I thought I'd give a rundown of what August holds. August is Get Acquainted with Kiwi Fruit Month. If you're in Maine, I know we're not in Maine, but if you go to Maine in August, it's Maine Lobster Month. Back in 2012, in July of 2012, Maine Governor Paul LePage issued a proclamation declaring August Maine Lobster Month. So, yay for them, and that sounds good. I'd like to actually go. I'd like to be in Maine because I'm sure it's a whole lot cooler than it is here. August is also National Catfish Month, as per the Catfish Institute. It's National Goat Cheese Month, and I love goat cheese. It's one of my favorite cheeses. National Panini Month, because grilled sandwiches are pretty cool. It's National Peach Month, as per the USDA. National Sandwich Month, which would go along with paninis, I guess. It's also National Water Quality Month. Sorry if you hear some pounding in the background. They're building a building across from my studio, which I should say, we're recording here today in the Test Pattern studio on Trade Street. 701 North Trade Street is the address for Test Pattern, and we're on 7th Street right behind, connected to the same building in the Test Pattern studio. So thank you, Test Pattern, for having us here. And for my Canadian friends, back to the holidays, my Canadian friends this month is National Blueberry Month, as says the North American Blueberry Council. Some things coming up this week. The 5th, which is Friday, the 5th is International Beer Day. August the 5th. My good friend Damien, who on the Less Desirables we call Superfan Damien, will be happy to know that August the 6th is Mead Day. Mead is perhaps the oldest fermented beverage in the world. Is made by combining honey, water, and yeast, and is often referred to as honey wine. And that day is brought to you by the American Homebrewers Association. Also on the 6th is National Mustard Day. That is the first Saturday of, I guess, the first Saturday in August is National Mustard Day and Festival. Today is the 3rd, and it's National Chocolate Chip Day today, and tomorrow, the 4th, is National Oyster Day. Food history for this week. In 1932, on the 1st of August, the Mars bar was introduced. On the 4th in 1970, just 3 months before I was born, I wasn't born on the 4th of November, but I was born on the 20th of November, but in 1970, Pillsbury registered the trademark for Poppin' Fresh, the Pillsbury Doughboy. It's his official name, if you did not know. They first used it in 1965 for Pillsbury refrigerated dough products, but they named him Poppin' Fresh, and they trademarked it finally in 1970, this week. Also on that same exact day, Cumberland Packaging registered Sweet and Low as a trademark. It was first used in 1958. On the 4th of August, 1978, Molson Brewery, because you know I have to talk about beer too, acquired the Montreal Canadiens hockey team. On the 6th of August, in 1867, Sheldon Everett of Ansonia, Connecticut, received a patent for a tea kettle. And on the 6th of August in 2013, protesting low egg prices, French farmers began smashing thousands of eggs on the streets and buildings and squares of France's main poultry-producing region of Brittany. Overproduction and expensive renovations to meet new European regulations on hen houses have resulted in farmers receiving lower prices for eggs. So to protest that, they just started smashing their wares, I guess creating a shortage, which they could drive the price up with them. And that's all your food history and holidays for the week. So I'm going to do a little restaurant review now. This past Friday, Stephanie and I ate at one of our local comfort food locations. I call it that because we know we're always going to get good food, and there's not really a lot of frills about it. I mean, it's comfort. It's what it is. Plus, the price is nice there. Their prices are very reasonable. And what we're talking about is West End Cafe. West End Cafe is located at 926 West 4th Street. Their website is westendcafe.com. You can find them on Facebook, and I believe that's all the social media they do. When you walk in, if there aren't any available tables, you sign in on a clipboard right inside the vestibule, if you want to call it a vestibule. I don't know if it's called a vestibule. It's just a little waiting spot. And you wait there. As soon as there's an availability, they come and take the next appropriately sized party to the first available seating. Basically, sign your name and wait. Now, if you're in a saucy mood, I recommend putting something funny down as your name. Now, don't be a creep about it, and don't be rude. Don't be putting anything dirty. But be fun and light and lively. We signed in as Pete and Repeat. We've also signed in as Beavis and Butthead and a couple other people. I just like to have fun. John, who is one of the, I will say, guys there. I don't know exactly what his position is, but it seems to be one of decision-making, at least for people going to sit. He saw the name and chuckled a bit, and I don't know if he actually thought it was funny or if he was just humoring me. I'll take it either way. We were seated actually very quickly. Our wait time was only about 4 minutes. Our server, whose name is Jody, got our drink orders, and I believe I had the Granite Falls Scotch Ale. I think it was Granite Falls. I know that it was good, and that's all that mattered. 8+% ABV, which is always a plus. Stephanie just had water for the main stuff. After a short little bit, John brought out a amuse-bouche for us, which was a pork belly and fried oyster on a crostini. The pork belly and oyster were perfectly cooked with a lot of flavor and seasoning. We liked it a lot. The one thing that I really liked about it was that the bread was grilled, but it wasn't hard and crunchy. Most places that serve bruschetta and other crostini and charred breads and things like that, they just devastate my mouth. I mean, just cuts me up. It's like I'm eating glass. So with this one, it was very good to be able to taste the bread and not feel like I just broken a tooth or something eating it. I'm not a fan of most hard foods, and I haven't really ever been. So thank you, West End Cafe, for that. Our food arrived. Stephanie had ordered the burger with pimento cheese. The burger sat in front of her like an unconquerable mountain of meat and fixins. I mean, it was huge. And it was surrounded by the ocean of fries that she chose as her side. It was really, really a glorious, glorious sight to see. Now, full disclosure, she did have to take a bit of the lettuce and tomato off, and she cut the burger in two. She had to because of the sheer size of the sandwich and the small size of her mouth. I finished off what she didn't finish, and the burger, I will say, was very flavorful and juicy, and it went well with the pimento cheese and the big fluffy bun. Good job on that burger, West End Cafe. You did well. I ordered the halibut special, which was the fish, the halibut, some asparagus, carrot slices, hollandaise sauce, and microgreens. And with that came a side or Caesar salad. I went with the side. Extra Thousand Island, no onions, add cheese. That's how I like mine. I had it ahead of the meal, so it wasn't already there whenever the food, I've already eaten it by that time. And also, I can't live with myself for several days after eating asparagus, and I don't really care for the taste of it, so why put myself through that? So I substituted that with wilted spinach because I absolutely love that stuff. I'll be honest, I think the halibut was a little under-seasoned, but not to the point that it still wasn't good. I mean, it was right there. It just could have used a little more seasoning. The hollandaise sauce was creamy and buttery and complemented the fish perfectly. That added to the seasoning, so it wasn't that big of a deal. The fish was very flaky. It was exactly the way you wanted it. I thought it was cooked perfectly. If you've read any of my food reviews or pairing reviews in the last 6 months or so, you know that I love microgreens. And these were the perfect bit of light flavor with enough that you really knew it was there and enough crunch that it wasn't hard food, but enough crunch in there to make the dish just absolutely delightful. Like I said, it's a special, so it's not on the menu all the time. I was just lucky to have that. I thought it was delicious, and again, thank you, West End, for having that. Instead of dessert, we actually opted to finish off our dinner with a spot of tawny port. We have found that we both really enjoy port. It's always in a small thing because I don't know if it's higher. I don't know what the deal is, but if it's expensive. However, that's just the way they serve it, and that's okay. It's small and jammy, but it's worth every penny you spend for it. We really enjoy it. It's thicker. It's just good. It's goodness in a glass. The consensus of what Stephanie and I think of this restaurant is that we really dig West End Cafe. It's comfortable and familiar. It's no frills, and I believe that's what they're wanting it to be. They're not trying to impress anyone. They're trying to be a great destination with great food. That they have accomplished. And I don't know anyone personally who's eaten there and at not least been satisfied. I don't generally hear negative things about West End Cafe, and I have nothing negative to say either. Like I said, the fish, the seasoning could just a little bit more, but it was not even enough to, I won't take any points off of it for that. It was really good. It's a great place for friends to meet and have a few after work drinks or just get a full on get together there, dinner wise, all that. They have good lunch options, and it's also very family friendly. You can find families in there eating together. It's just good. Their menu is extensive, and there's no shortage of salads, sandwiches, including hoagies and grinders. I always want to sing the Adam Sandler song there. They have good stuff for their burgers. You can top it however you want to. An actual full entree menu. But it's just not a diner or a cafe. There's some serious gourmet items that's happening here. Let's put it this way. They don't skimp, and they take care of their customers. Many of the servers have been there for a while and make you feel like you're a regular, even if you're not a regular. You may want to be a regular after being there. Again, with that menu, you'll have to visit several times anyway before you even get to an iota of the scope of what they can do. It's really that good. Again, West End Cafe is located at 926 West 4th Street over in, well, you guessed it, West End, and you really need to go check them out. It comes as a high recommendation from Stephanie and me, who collectively, we are the man who ate the town. Visit our sponsor, please, Washington Perk and Provision Company. There are 2 locations, 228 West Acadia Avenue over in Washington Park and 301 West 4th Street here in downtown Winston-Salem. They have a beer and wine wall. They have biscuits. I had 2 this morning. They have Larry's Beans Coffee, milk, cheese, dried fruits, a deli with sandwich specials every day. They are the place for Wolfie's Custard, and they have a plethora of flavors right now. It's still hotter than all get out, so they have, like I said, a plethora of flavors. Random items like hot sauces, plasticware, napkins, mayonnaise, peanut butter. List goes on. It's better than a convenience store, not quite a grocery store. It's your local corner neighborhood convenience store, really, but better than a convenience store. Find them on the web at WashingtonPerk.com. The Man Who Ate the Town is part of the Less Desirables Network, along with Fan Interference, The Beer Dads, and the flagship, The Less Desirables. Soon to come is The Man Who Walked the Town video series and possibly a podcast. All the websites for each show will have network tabs that you can find all the other shows, except for The Man Who Walked the Town. But that's coming. So again, it's themanwhoatethetown.com, themanwhowalkedthetown.com, thelessdesirables.com. Fan Interference you can find on Facebook and Twitter. Twitter's their main thing. And The Beer Dads, which is thebeerdadspodcast.com or thebeerdads.com. So that's it for me. Thank you for listening and reading the blog. My name is Tim Beeman. I am the man who ate the town, and I'm closing the recipe box. Till next time, bon appetit. The views and opinions stated by me or any of my guests are solely those of ours and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of our hosting companies, distributors, enemies, friends, or relatives. This podcast is copyrighted and cannot be reproduced or distributed without express written consent of the man who ate the town, that's me, and Such Limited Inc. However, if you ask nicely, we'll probably let you.